Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Stacy. I think I want to vlog this week. We're getting ready to head out to our property in Tennessee right now. My husband and I are going out there. We haven't been out there for like a month and a half, and we really need to like lay eyes on the property and see how crazy overgrown basically everything has gotten. I'm sure I'm gonna have to like do a bunch of work over there. But anyway, it's like a 6-hour drive, and so I'm going to be listening to books there and back. I am almost finished with, it's called this, what is it called? The Spirit Well? I think it's called The Spirit Well, by Lawhead. It's book 3 in the Bright Empires series. So I'm going to be finishing that and then starting, maybe Meet Me in the Margins. For the Christian book club. And so yeah, I just wanted to get this video started, say hello, say what my intentions are, and I will check in with you guys periodically throughout the week. Alright guys, it is the next day and I am currently in Tennessee. When we arrived last night, we realized that our internet is completely not working here at this house. It was working the last time I was here, but it's not working now. We also don't get any cell phone signal here unless I climb up basically a mountain that's in my backyard to try to get a signal. So my husband works from home, like on the computer. He needs the internet, so he left early this morning to go find a spot to sit and be able to work, because he's actually not off of work this week. He is working. This wind isn't too loud. I will say that not having the ability to get on my phone or the internet at all really helps with your reading. I have read so much in the last 2 days. It's amazing. So yesterday during the drive, I was able to finish The Spirit Well by Lawhead, and it was so good. Yeah, I feel like books 1 and 2, there was so much world building and character building and lots of questions, and then book 3, you got a lot of answers to things. There were a lot of like aha moments, so it was so good. So excited that there are 5 books in this series, because I cannot wait to jump into book 4. But when that book was over, I went straight into Meet Me in the Margins, which I forgot to look up this lady's name. I don't know her name. But she also wrote The Cul-de-sac Wars, I think, and I think that's a pretty popular book. I haven't read it. I haven't read anything by her. But I got to chapter 11 on that book, so I think I'm about 4 hours in. And I think it's almost an 8-hour book, so about halfway. Well, okay, so this one reminds me an awful lot of The Enlightenment of Bees, our book club pick from 2 months ago, which was also contemporary romance. The main character is a woman, and she's very dramatic. Everything is like a huge deal to her. And she's kind of a pushover. Her sister is terrible. Her mom is terrible. There's a love triangle going on, and the situation of that is very similar to how it kind of played out in The Enlightenment of Bees. So I just get a lot of the same vibes between these 2 books. Also, sadly to say, like I said, I'm almost halfway through this book, and there is zero faith content in this Christian book. Like zero. There has been no mention of God, Jesus, Christianity, heaven, hell, prayer, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So yeah, this morning when I woke up and realized I couldn't jump on my phone immediately and check all the things, I decided to read instead. What a concept. And so I just decided to pick this book up on a whim, because it was here, and I was like, you know what, this sounds really good right now. I kind of want to read that. And it's short, so it would be awesome if I could actually finish this book while I'm here. So this is The Yellow Lantern from the True Colors series. It is historical stories of American crime. So I think there's like 11 or 12 books in this series. They're all different stories, so you don't have to read these in order at all. I've read one of these in the past and I liked it. I thought it was well done. But each book is written from a different author. This is Angie Dicken. And each book is written by a different author. Each book follows a different crime story, like a true crime story that happened in America. So it is historical Christian fiction. I'm like 60 pages into this and it's so good. It is quite gripping. This has to do with, it's in 1824 in Massachusetts and then in New York, because she's in New York now, but it has to do with grave robbing. Definitely am feeling like drawn to pick this up and just keep going because the chapters are really short, which is great, and it's just very, very interesting. I'm gonna get back to reading this book. I have a couple more hours before my husband gets back here and there's literally nothing else for me to do. I was going to do some painting while I was here because the whole house needs to be painted. It's awful. There's still wood paneling in there. Since he took the car this morning to go work, I don't have a car and I need to go to the hardware store to get paint because I don't have any. So there's nothing for me to do besides read. So that's what I'm going to do. All right, guys, welcome back to this old house. I'm going to be painting today. I managed to, we got our internet working this morning and we left and went to Lowe's and got some paint. And so I'm going to be working on this room today. This is where our washer and dryer is and like storage. I really want to turn it into more of like a large pantry storage space and make it cute and bright and airy. Right now it's really bad. As you can see, there's wood paneling everywhere in here and there's shelves I need to take down. We need to fix the floor because there was cabinets built in here, and when the last people lived here they put in this laminate flooring around where the cabinets were, and so when we took the cabinets out because they were falling off the wall, we're left with two different floors in here, so we need to fix that. And it's going to take a lot of paint. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, and I'm going to be listening to Meet Me in the Margins. I should be able to finish it today. I feel like I'm going to be in this room until bedtime. So that is my plan for today. So yeah, here's a little before and after of this space. So you come in right here, and off to the side is this old cabinet that needs to come out, but as you can see, they put the flooring in around the cabinet. So we need to fix that, and I need to take the shelves down. And then let me show you the ceiling. The ceiling is really bad. The ceiling is really dirty. There's like random wires coming in the ceiling. It's stained up. I hate painting ceilings, so I'm not gonna do that now or probably anytime soon. But I do want to get this wood paneling painted, or at least primed. I'm going to prime it today and then paint it some other time. So anyway, that is what I'm doing today. Alrighty, it is the next day and I have finished the laundry room, mud room, pantry, whatever this is going to be. I'm not really sure. But it's nice and bright now. So much better than the wood paneling. It made it so dark in here. And we took down, there was shelving above both of these windows with like all the paint cans and cleaners and stuff was up on the shelves. And taking the shelves down really opened this up, just made it seem bigger. So it took about 4 coats of primer to get it this white, and there is some spots still like coming through, so it probably will need another coat of primer, or maybe I'll just try paint mixed with primer for the next coat. But I'm done. Like, I cannot do any more painting. So yeah, that's all I'm gonna do for this trip while we're here. Every time we come, we spend a couple days and I try working on like one project at a time. So this was my project for this time. I managed to finish listening to Meet Me in the Margins while I was painting because I was in here all day yesterday. And I also started The Spice King by Elizabeth Camden. So I'm going to talk about that. But I want to go outside because it smells really strong in here. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, so I finished Meet Me in the Margins, and that book was okay for a like rom-com secular type of book. I would not say it was a Christian book in the slightest. It was clean, but there was absolutely nothing relating to faith or Christianity in that book whatsoever. Like nothing. I couldn't tell you what the religious leanings were of any characters in that book. But this was the second book from Thomas Nelson, a Christian publisher. I even looked them up too, just to make sure, because I'm like, what if Thomas Nelson isn't even a Christian publisher? What if I just think they are? I looked them up and I read their like about statement on their webpage, and it says that they publish Christian books and Bibles and stuff like that. And so I'm just like, what is going on in Christian publishing where the book doesn't have to have anything to do with Christianity in it? It's just weird to me. I think it's false advertising. So that bugs me. For contemporary romance, it was an okay book, but I really wanted a Christian romance. So am I harping on this? Maybe. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on. So once that book was finished, I actually started a book by, is it Joanna Politano? Is that her name? I had her on my list for authors that I want to try that I haven't read yet for the Christian Readathon. And I started one of her books. I think it's called The Midnight Dance or The Moonlight Dance or something. It has to do with a ballerina. And I listened to that for about an hour and I just couldn't get into it. I wasn't feeling it. There was something about the writing style that just seemed boring. I don't know. Couldn't get into it. So then I switched to The Spice King by Elizabeth Camden, which is a book that I've been wanting to read for such a long time. I own it. It's on my shelf at home. And I have not listened or read Elizabeth Camden either. So it still works for that prompt. I'm a few hours into that and I love it. Absolutely love it. What I really like about that too is that it is set in Virginia and DC, and I currently live in Virginia, and I live in like Northern Virginia, kind of in the area where the book takes place, which again I think is really cool. I'm very well acquainted with these areas, and she's talking about them in a time period where things were very different. I think the book takes place in the early, like maybe 1910-ish, I'm guessing. All the characters are really interesting. I'm just really kind of sucked into this story. I really like the writing. So yeah. Since I'm done with my painting, I will probably finish that book on our drive home. I think we're going to leave here on Saturday. So I'll get that done then. And for the next few hours before we leave to go to dinner, I'm going to sit outside and continue reading this book, The Yellow Lantern, which I also am loving. This book is really good. So I'm going to get off of here and I'm going to read because I have been talking you guys' ears off. And hopefully I remember to film a little bit tonight when we go to this little town. I just found out that the little town we're going to, I think it's called Jonesboro, is called the storytelling capital of the world. So how cool is that? It's very cool. Anyway, I'm going to get off here and I'm going to read and I'll check in later. Do you think this was the first house here?
Probably read it right there.
Christopher Taylor House. Everything is so green.
Perfect time of year to be.
Oh, look at him. Groundhogs are cute.